Oh, what's up,
nice.
dude?
Got a little splatter on that
Cheers.
one. Nice, cheers. Hey, dude, so not too long ago, I'm making a delivery to this. I'm delivering a package to this guy's house. And you already know where it's going.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're going.
And I pull up to this house, and it's just the guy comes running out. Clearly, he's waiting on it. And he sticks his hand out, and he says, "Hey, I'm YouTube personality Wildman GG Johnson." And I was like, and going through my head, it's probably what's going through everyone else's head when they hear, "Hey guys, check out Brew Collar Podcast." Oh, you know, like
I'm YouTube personality.
Yeah, check out Brew Collar Podcast. So I'm like, yeah, whatever, Chief.
Yeah. Oh, okay, Hoss.
Yeah. And I don't think anything about it. It's like, and as I'm getting back in the car to drive off, he hits me with, "Yeah, I just dropped my song, Black Baby Swinging Jesus Penis."
Oh, Jesus.
And I was like,
Wow.
what was that name again?
Let me write this down real
Let
quick.
me write this down real quick.
Wow.
We've both watched his YouTube channel.
He's very disturbed.
There's some mental illness there.
There's mental illness there, for sure.
It's so disturbing, man. It's so weird. We need to link that to this video.
Okay.
So people can click on it.
What's his name now? His new name is like Buddy Holly of Formaldehyde or
Yeah.
something. I don't know what it is. I have to look it up again.
It was some of the weirdest shit you'll ever see.
I wouldn't go that far, but it's definitely the weirdest shit for YouTube. Then to know the guy is weird.
To know the guy is really weird.
Yeah.
It's not the weirdest shit you'll see, but it's definitely
for sure.
know.
It's up there.
To know the guy is really
It makes you a
weird.
little uncomfortable when you watch his live stream. Like, hey, you remember me? We did that.
Yeah, he went live and was like, because we was drinking one night.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Yeah.
But and you get a notification because we had to subscribe to the
Put the bell icon on.
Yeah. So, and it said, Wildman GG Johnson is live, and he's just doing one of his crazy songs.
He's like a ukulele out or something.
Yeah. It was, crazy ass.
Fuck you.
It's so wild, man.
He is a wild man. It's so wild, man. GG Johnson.
Nice.
Yeah. Speaking of mental illnesses, me. I know we was talking about like anxiety a little bit last week, but I kind of felt like the thing where like I was in that point where I didn't want to do like something because of anxiety. We went to Orlando this weekend. We just got back today, and we went out to the Atlanta airport. This is the first time I'd ever flown like without Dad, so it was a little interesting. But like, I had two teenagers with me. I had Jacob and Caden with me.
So you were the adult.
I was the adult, yeah. And it was a little strange, like having to figure out all this stuff because I'd never flown by myself. I was just like kind of going through the motions before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a little anxious like leading up to that, and then it just kind of like I was like, yeah, I kind of wish I didn't do this at one point, and I was like,
Really?
And I was like, why the fuck? I mean, I'm gonna have to do it anyway. I'm gonna have to do this at some point in my life. And then after I did it, I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I did this. I learned a lot from it.
Yeah.
But in the moment, I was uncomfortable because I didn't know like how to do it or what I needed to do.
Yeah. So it was pretty fun?
It was a good time, dude.
Dude, yeah, there's always anxiety when I'm on an airplane.
Right.
Just there's always a little bit of, you start playing off in your head like, what happens if something does go wrong?
Well, see, I wasn't. Honestly, so we got there a little late, but it was Gabby's first time driving in Atlanta. And
I'm sure she was nervous.
Yes.
It is. It's yeah.
Whenever she drives, she likes to wait till she's like this close to a car to stop.
Oh, man.
And so I was way more anxious in the car. And we were running late. And she doesn't use her mirror. She does this.
Oh, no.
And so when she turns back and the person stopped in front of her,
You're hitting the brakes and you're in the passenger seat.
I'm like, Jesus, dude.
Stop.
It was intense. So when we got out, being late was like relieving.
Really?
I was like, oh, I'm out of that car.
Yeah.
But I'm glad she took us because she was like our last option for other than me driving.
Dude, I never thought about this. I actually watched Hustle with Adam Sandler.
Oh, dude, I've been meaning to watch that.
Really good movie.
I can
imagine.
I'm
not I don't like sports movies like that. They're a little hacky, a little cheesy, Oh, inspirational. They're down by 30, but
they persevere.
The backup quarterback comes in and brings them back.
Oh, God. And it's Tom Brady.
Yeah, it's corny, dude. But that was actually a really good movie.
That's what's up.
But what I connected that with was that Could you imagine being an NBA player getting on a plane, not flying first class, and you're 7 foot tall and you're sitting in those tight ass? How could you make a 4-hour flight like that?
That's insane.
Yeah.
I never thought about it like that.
I never thought
because
that,
like I sat on our flight there it wasn't bad. I mean, it was like it was a lot of room this way, but not much this way. But then on the way back was the opposite.
Yeah.
So it was wide, but I didn't have the leg room in front of me, and I was like, man, this kind of sucks.
Because it's tough for like you and me.
Yeah, for sure. And we're not that. I mean, I'm only 6'1".
I know. Yeah. So it's
7 foot tall basketball player.
Oh, dude.
And he's like very muscular too.
I mean, do you buy the seat in front of you? So, because your knees are going to be just slammed.
It's
in
like
the back.
me and Dad were watching Police Academy the other day, and I hadn't seen that in so long. We were just out like doing some T-shirts, and we had Police Academy on, and whenever
I don't know Police Academy.
You never watched Police Academy?
Mm-mm.
Well, there's one part. It's just like an old like 90s comedy. It's very like slapstick.
It's a
like,
movie?
Yeah.
Oh,
there's like 4 of them, but the first 2 are the
Really?
only good ones.
I've never heard of those.
Wow,
weird.
that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But there's this one part. There's like massive, one of these massive. He's like kind of slower guy, but he's not like like a disability or anything. But he's like humongous dude, and he goes to get in the car, and he's like, "Yeah, you can go ahead and just sit in the front seat." And he just pulls the whole front seat out and sits in the back seat to drive. It's just so stupid. It's like 80s, 90s humor, but it's so hilarious. Like I remember that so much from when I was like 10 watching that movie.
Oh, that's funny.
That's crazy. You've never seen that, man.
Yeah, never thought about it.
That's pretty good,
dude. We watched Shaun of the Dead.
Oh,
that was
such
fun.
a classic,
And showing
dude.
Hayden Shaun of the Dead, that's our niece. I don't think that she really cared for it like that.
No, she did. But it's different because like we grew up like we were talking about in the last episode. We grew up watching the horror movies with Mom, and we also grew up watching like the comedy stuff, and that's like the best of both worlds. I mean, it's also like a huge like inspiration from Dawn of the Dead. Like it gets so much like it has so many like throwbacks and like analogies to that movie. So
yeah,
it's really cool seeing
love
that.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorites. It's definitely top 15 for me.
Oh
Just
man,
favorites,
it's probably top 10 for me.
Top 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just it's just so quotable. Yeah, I quote it like all the time.
It's a classic for us.
Yeah, for sure.
What's some more like? I mean, you can call that like it's not. I mean, it's kind of like a dark comedy.
Yeah,
That's
for
what
sure.
I would consider it,
Yeah, for sure.
And who does that the best is the Coen brothers.
Absolutely.
They do that the best. I mean, there's always funny moments in a Coen brothers movie that is such a serious.
Well, I
film.
think
he makes such.
See, if we're talking
films.
about like serious films with like very funny moments, I'm gonna go Quentin.
He's got funny moments too.
But if we're gonna talk dark comedies, I'm gonna go Coen Brothers. 'Cause I feel like
yeah.
their movies are like actual comedy movies. It's like a funny movie that has very serious like application to it. It's like the opposite,
Yeah.
Or like it could be like Inglourious Bastards has like the Gorlami,
Gorlami,
like the real funny parts like that. But then with Coen Brothers films, it's like really funny movies that have like really dark scenes in them.
That's
like
true. Yeah, I can see
like
that.
Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
That was so good.
Spoiler alert! Like I guess I'm not gonna spoil anything, but the part with Liam Neeson is such a dark part, but it's a funny movie, but it's a very dark part in the movie.
That's a dark episode of that show.
It's kind of the opposite of like what Quentin does.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he'll sprinkle in because Quentin's more serious, and then
Yeah,
we'll
he'll
sprinkle in
sprinkle
some comedy in there.
And like Grindhouse.
Yeah, and Coen Brothers is kind of the opposite.
It's
to
very
where
comedy, but he'll sprinkle in
some dark shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good, man.
Yeah. Ballad of Buster Scruggs was good.
Been here before? Never been here? Our first time.
First
That's it.
time.
First time.
Yeah.
James Franco?
Yeah, first time? Yeah, that was always good. But for me, obviously, No Country for Old Men is, to me, I think that's his greatest film.
I mean, absolutely.
Their greatest film.
Yeah, it's so good.
But I will say Fargo, and I mean, he kills it. Inside Llewyn Davis.
I guess I still got to watch that.
Really good movie. Yeah, Fargo, The Big Lebowski.
Oh, man.
Arguably his best film. I mean,
Right.
that's the most likable one.
The Big Lebowski is it's such a good cult classic film. But
Yeah.
speaking of like movies now, you watched Spiderhead.
Yeah. Okay. So have you watched it?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, me, Noah, and Jeremiah watched it.
Go ahead. What you think about it?
I really enjoyed it.
It's a good movie.
I really enjoyed it. I thought that it didn't need to be crazy. It was just a generic movie, but it had good acting. Like I think Chris Hemsworth and Miles Teller did a very good job.
I think so too.
But I will say it got dark out of nowhere.
It got real dark.
It got really
dark, and you kind of could see it coming. But
yeah, for sure.
But the one thing I will say about that movie is it really made you feel so many different emotions.
It did.
It confused you. It made you happy, made you sad. It made you pull for people who were terrible people.
Oh, absolutely.
And you kind of pulled for them to get out of there, even though they did some horrible shit.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's the one thing I do really like about it. And also, Chris Hemsworth kind of showed that he can act a little bit.
So my first impression of Chris Hemsworth in the movie was like, okay, it was like maybe 20 minutes in. I'm like, okay, so it's like American Psycho.
That's
like he's very narcissistic.
Yeah,
very narcissistic, but he's like pretending that he's not.
Yeah.
And he did a very good job of that. But then like later in the movie, so his character was Steve Abnesti, I think so. And I forget the other character's name. His like sidekick.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what it reminded me of so much was Zap Brannigan and Kiff from Futurama. That's exactly what it reminded me of.
Oh, that's actually really accurate.
A very narcissistic like leader,
yeah,
and then like a very shy, like quiet guy that's way smarter than the leader.
Yeah.
But like he's not the leader, so he's just like he can't take over.
Dude, I love Futurama, man.
Ah, dude, it's so good.
And I don't really do like animated shows much, but I will say that one's up there for favorite shows. Futurama is amazing.
I've watched it so much.
And me too. And Rick and Morty is really good. You hate the fan base. The fan base kind of like
it's so bad.
It's kind of annoying, but I mean, Rick and Morty is a great show.
It's very good.
Yeah,
it is like witty humor, but it's also like just stupid humor.
Yeah, it's a good mix.
Like and just like you're saying, like the fan base acts like it's just witty humor. Yeah, it's not. Like you don't have to be an intellect to laugh at it. It's so stupid.
It's so stupid.
But that's most animated shows. I was watching. I've been watching Big Mouth, of course. I mean, it's got Nick Kroll and John Mulaney.
Oh man,
dude, it's so funny.
Nick Kroll has some funny moments too.
Dude, Nick Kroll does have some funny moments.
You ever watch The League?
No, I've heard it's very good. Yeah. So it's about fantasy football, but it's like related to the year, so
yeah, it's
gonna be kind of harder to keep up with it. I mean, I guess it's done. It's not coming on anymore, is it?
Yeah, I think it's done. It was on FX.
But it was.
Yeah,
dude, John Mulaney's so funny.
Oh, he's a murderer.
He's so
man.
good.
He's so good.
It's so it's kind of crazy because like you would never expect Joey Diaz, his favorite comedian, one of his favorite comedians is John Mulaney.
It's John Mulaney. Yeah, he always says that. I always thought comedy was supposed to be John Mulaney. You know, the suit, the so professional, and Joey Diaz is like the most raw comic out there right now.
Right.
And it was great to see him live.
Dude, it was man.
He just brings the energy. You know,
did we talk about that in the last episode?
I think we did. We
did.
Okay,
but dude, so fun, man. We definitely gotta see some more comedy shows.
Yeah, and I think someone like John Mulaney, I would definitely see. Who do you want to see the most? If you could pick, if you could pick
two comics.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard because like I'm a big Hannibal Buress fan.
Yeah.
But I gotta take Bill Burr and Tom Segura over him.
Oh yeah, that would probably be my two. Dave Chappelle would be
Dave
up
Chappelle.
there.
I don't think I would want to see Dave Chappelle over Bill Burr and Tom Segura. Dave Chappelle is funny. I love Dave Chappelle. But there's also those moments where he's like very political and like very serious.
That's
lately.
true, and that's not who we
and
are.
I love it. And I love it watching it like in the comfort of my own home. But whenever I'm going to a comedy show,
you don't want to.
I'm going to get away from that.
That's fair. I kind of agree with you, honestly.
And that's the exact reason we avoided that in the last episode. Any politics, because people want to get away from that.
Yeah,
shit.
there's plenty. You can go. There's plenty of shows to go to, man.
Let's get away from that shit.
Let's get away from it. People who already watch Fox News, they know what they're looking for. People who already watch CNN, they know what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And you come here. What's like?
And I will definitely put the blame on any direction that we went on myself for that.
You try to set me up.
I did, and there's no reason because I didn't even want to go there. And you were right, you said that. But I would definitely put that on myself.
But, trying to get me canceled already.
But yeah, man, the going to the comedy shows was really nice because we're so used to going to the metal shows. I was like, I woke up in the morning and I wasn't sore, like my neck and back and ankles.
Being in a mosh pit,
it's exhausting.
It really takes you're gonna have. For me, the last one. It took me like a week to recover, to bounce back. And I mentioned all the beer. All the beer.
The beer, you're not drinking water, you're just fat and need a
bloated.
Fart. And you just need a fart and shit.
I do that. It looked like I got lit up with a paintball gun from all the bruises on my chest. It was
That's
just
crazy, dude.
Elbows and fingerprints and It was.
God, dude, I had my.
I felt like a bruised peach.
You look like one.
Thanks.
I had my slip-on Vans, and I twisted my ankle so bad, dude. And my ankle was hurting for like legit like a month. But I mean, that doesn't help because like whenever I'm hurting, I just train anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was really nice. That was the only thing that was really sore. Was my ankle from that the metal show.
Yeah. And then we went to see Megadeth, Lamb of God, Trivium,
and
In Flames.
In Flames.
Was that the
Yes, that was the 4.
Yeah, that was a great show.
Yeah,
I had a great time.
How about Ghost coming up, man? Ghost and Mastodon.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit last time. I don't really care for ghosts like that, but they got like I kind of like the vibe that they give off, like the old school 80s.
Yeah, for sure. Like the very theatrical.
Yeah,
that's cool.
For sure. I'm a fan. I mean, I like some songs, but they're not like one of my favorites.
Yeah, for sure. That's why
I've listened to a lot of them too.
That's why I'm definitely just gonna leave after Mastodon.
Dude, last night you're talking about like me looking like a bruised peach. Me losing weight, like as much weight as I've lost, and I don't drink as much now. I only drink on Saturdays.
Now, hold on. You say lose weight like you were fat before. I mean, you're not like a unhealthy person before.
Yeah, but I mean, it was all in my gut though.
Yeah, so it's like you lost weight, but it wasn't like you lost like you needed to lose weight. You were still a healthy person.
That's true. But anyways, last night I only drink once a week on Saturdays. Well,
right.
This week too because we're doing the podcast today.
Right.
But I'm drinking last night, and I feel like I've only had like 8 or 9 beers.
Right.
So not that much, dude. And when everybody leaves, it's about 1 o'clock. I'm sitting on the couch, and I'm like, I look at Heather and I say, I'm fucked up right now.
Classic
fucked up
quote.
right now. I know what's going. Like I'm on the carousel right now at a carnival. Like that's me. You know.
I saw this meme today, and it was somebody was like, "This is what it felt like when you go into bed drunk," and it was like this Photoshop of a girl asleep, and she's on the roller coaster, and her eyes are closed. That's exactly how it feels.
Exactly.
It's
how
just
it
like,
feels. It's just like, and the ride never ends
until
you go to
it
the bathroom.
does, and it's like you're just like. And your head hurts.
Oh man! So I was like, let's just get this out of the way. Yeah, it was.
How'd you do that?
We won't go into detail. Man, yeah, 8 beers, 9 beers. I was like, I shouldn't be that fucked up right now. And this house is spinning.
That's how it goes, man.
Yeah,
you're light now.
I'm light now.
You're lighter.
I kind of
like
it.
That gut to hold it up.
I kind of like it. Yeah, I lost some of that weight. And plus, I quit drinking as much.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I noticed a difference last night.
Yeah, I kind of stopped drinking as much too. Like, especially like I used to drink like a little bit on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Me and Gabby used to hang out on Wednesdays, but she works on Wednesdays now. So, I like work on t-shirts and stuff, and like just do stuff on the computer and like edit and shit like that. And I would always just want to drink a beer. Like I'd drink a beer and then I'd like go cook dinner, for mom and dad. And so, I just try not to drink on Wednesdays, and I've been pretty successful like the last 2 months not drinking on Wednesdays, but I really noticed it at the tournament this weekend running back and forth to coach. My knees weren't hurting, and I was like running, like I felt like putting weight on my knees and there's no pain, and it's so crazy. Like I haven't felt that in a long time.
So you're just so used to having knee pain?
Yeah. And so now I'm like, I wonder if I drink less and stretch more.
It's creating inflammation for sure.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
I mean, my body feels so much better than I'm not drinking like I used to.
When we were coming out of the airport today, we went to the little check-in where you hold your hands up and you stand on the yellow feet. And I go through and he's like, is there something on your knee? And I'm like, nah, man. I'm just wearing like some shorts and
it's just inflammation, man.
And he's like feeling, he's like, puffy.
That's what he said?
Yeah. It's like, damn, dude, you ain't got to call me out like that. He's like, you sure you're not wearing a knee pad? I'm like, no, dude, I'm not wearing a knee brace. Or he said, you're not wearing a knee brace? No, man. It's like,
hell?
the camera flagged it.
Wow.
I'm like,
yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, that's my bad knee. It was spot on. I mean, I was like, yeah.
Dude, do you know what, like every now and then, this pops into my head.
I'm already laughing because I love where this is going.
Okay. The scene in Bad Santa where the mom is taking the boy up to meet Billy Bob Thornton's drunk ass, who's just a degenerate who plays Santa Claus. He finally he hates his job in his life.
Yeah.
He finally has that moment to himself in the food court with the Santa suit on.
Yeah. Oh, a fucking lunch break. And salads falling everywhere. It's so good, man.
Dude, she's bringing her son up. Look, Jimmy, it's Santa.
I'm on my fucking lunch break.
Jesus Christ, lady.
I'm sorry for your ears, guys. I don't know if I can fix that one.
Sorry.
It's so fucking funny, dude. It's like that's another one of my favorite comedies because it's so quotable, man.
It's so quotable.
Like Superbad and Shaun of the Dead, that's up there with those for me. I mean, not obviously not like quality. I don't think the quality of that is like Superbad, but Jesus Christ, it's so funny, dude.
Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton was the perfect person to play that role.
You couldn't get any better. And then like John Ritter, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Like John Ritter playing like the doofy fucking like just white bread.
Just white bread dude, yeah.
It's so good. But Bernie Mac too, man.
Oh, Bernie Mac.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. We used to watch the Bernie Mac show all the time.
What was the guy that played the elf?
Oh man, I don't know his name,
but he is so fucking funny.
He's
dude.
perfect.
And him and Billy Bob Thornton are just like shitting on each other the whole time.
They don't want to be there. They hate each other, but they kind of like each other.
But then whenever when Bernie Mac tries to shit on them, they're like, Billy Bob Thornton's like, "What do you mean, you people?" He's like standing up. He stands up for him.
He stands up for his boy.
Fucking respect. That's
they
how
can
it's
only
supposed
shit
to
on
be.
each other.
Yes.
Yeah, they can only shit on each other.
Exactly. That reminds me of one day whenever I was in the backyard, and it was me and Zach Tate. Shout out, Zach. I was like, obviously I'm a lot younger than him, and I don't know, we had some dispute, and he just like shoves me to the ground. And about 5 seconds later, I look up, and you're right there. You teleported from your room and just shoves him on his fucking head. And it's like, yeah,
sorry,
me
Zach.
and you used to beat the shit out of each other. Well, I would start it, and then you would finish it. But
Dude, you know, it's a really funny story.
What's that?
Me and Joe Michael. I hope
Dude,
shout out
I
Joe
know
Michael.
exactly what story this is. I know where this
You
is
got
going.
in a fight with a little neighborhood kid, and you was whooping his ass, and then me and Joe
I
Michael
remember.
were
So
watching
me and this kid are fighting over a damn Nerf football,
Okay.
and next thing you know, we start like hitting each other, and so I'm on top of it. I'm hitting him right, and I hear her like laughing and cheering on, and next thing you know, he rolls me over and starts hitting me, and you're like, oh, okay,
Oh,
we gotta
fight's
stop this.
over. Fight's over. Good job, kids. We're gonna break this up. So
And I'm like, lost that one. That was a close one.
such assholes.
I know. That's how it's supposed to be, man.
I know.
That's how it's supposed to be.
It's hilarious, man.
Man, that's good.
So I have this this theory that there's musicians out there that I consider completely undeniable.
Okay.
That no matter where they were at, no matter the circumstances of their life, if they still had the same passion for music, they would have still made it. The argument against that is
Luck.
and there's already so many people out there that's just as talented,
Right.
or has the same vocal vocal cords, or can shred on guitar, or can murder it on drums, or can slap at a bass, man. You know,
Another good movie.
whatever.
Another Paul Rudd movie.
Yeah. That they just got a lucky break. But honestly, I can't believe that.
You think that they would be successful no matter what?
No matter what. As long as they still had like the setup to make it happen, or like the drive, the musical drive. So say, and it's a very small amount of people who I think are like this.
Right.
And I'll give you some examples. That's Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins.
Okay.
I think
cool with that.
I think he's undeniable.
I'm cool with that.
I think Dave Grohl
Oh, absolutely. I'm cool with that.
is undeniable.
If we're gonna say that this theory is accurate, then yes, I agree with
Yes.
these two.
I think Trent Reznor
Oh yeah, from Nine Inch Nails.
is undeniable. And I'm starting to think that Brittany Howard
Oh,
is undeniable. In a time where that kind of music isn't popular, like the soulful, that was more popular.
that's true. That's very true.
Back in the day, and she's made it to where, 60 million listens on
That's
Spotify
insane.
or Meta, and just grinding, just straight off being able to.
She do it all the time.
she to me right now, Brittany Howard, I don't think there's a better musician out there. I think she is the baddest
I'm going to
motherfucker
stop
on
you.
the planet.
I'm going to come back to this.
Okay.
But the way you started this off, you changed your tone and it sounded like we cut, and we did not cut. That was flow.
Okay.
I just noticed that it seemed like a cut and it wasn't a cut. I just want to make that noted.
Okay, nice.
But dude, Brittany Howard, and that's the vocalist for the Alabama Shakes.
Yes.
If anybody's interested, I highly recommend listening.
Yes.
It is phenomenal music. But dude, so much soul. Like you can't. And I'll think whenever I think of her, I think of like the way like Adele is like so like her lyrics are undeniable.
Yeah.
Like you can't like, and I'm gonna go by her first album, Adele, because she wrote all of that.
That's 19, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
She wrote all of that at 19 years old.
It's a phenomenal
You
album.
can't write that without feeling that
Yeah.
shit. And Brittany Howard feels that shit.
She feels that shit, dude.
Not only can she sing like that, she's playing the fucking guitar, man.
Yeah, she can shred.
That's a beautiful SG, by the way.
I
love that.
I
that's
love it,
baby
dude.
blue, like
That
it's so
the surf
good.
blue. Oh,
so
man.
good, man.
Yeah, sexy guitar. And yeah, she's got so much soul. Such a good writer. She feels the shit.
Yes.
There's no, you can't deny someone.
Don't want to fight no more.
Feel it, man.
And it's just like, instead of like crying or yelling or whatever, she just writes this beautiful music that other people can relate to, you know?
Yes.
And it's like she's not doing it for just herself; she's doing it for other people.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
It's like to
But
me,
I think-
it's just incredible to watch.
I think that there's got to be luck involved, a little bit. Now, I will say, if I was going to say any musician was going to be undeniable, I would say Brittany Howard. I would take Brittany Howard, like I guess as of right now, like just off the top of my head,
Yeah.
I would take her over Dave Grohl. I think Dave Grohl, the luck was involved
You think so?
through Nirvana.
That's a good way to look at it because Kurt Cobain really.
Yes, I think Kurt Cobain was the undeniable one.
Another one that could be undeniable is John Lennon too.
Yeah, I was thinking John Paul Jones or like anybody from Led Zeppelin.
Jones was
But John Paul Jones was like,
the mind. He
was the mind.
such a good
Yes.
songwriter. Yeah.
but it's kind of funny, like thinking about like musicians being undeniable. But what about like athletes?
Oh.
It's the same thing. Like obviously you could put them in any situation, but
Sometimes it does help to have a coach like Andy Reid or Bill Belichick who can.
well, I'm just saying like you start from like high school,
yeah.
Like you think about, and I like to think about Deshaun Jackson's story, where like his dad, like they grew up in like poverty, and like his dad like pushed him. And they were doing drills in the backyard, and then he grows up into being the phenomenal athlete he is.
Yeah, he killed
because
it.
of that drive. Or like the player for the Grizzlies right now in basketball, John Morant. It's the
Yeah.
exact same thing, dude.
Yeah.
They would spend hours like drilling.
You got to have that drive.
You
though.
got to have the drive.
All those
but-
professional athletes kind of have that backstory of they just dedicated their whole life to that.
Yeah, but at what point was like they were in a game and like that scout just happened to be there? When did it? When did it click for the scout to be like, oh shit, this is the one?
That's a good question.
And I was kind of thinking about this too. At these tournaments, you got like a lot of young kids that are signed to these like fighting teams,
Yeah.
and it's like, I wonder if they're like their coaches are reaching out to other people too. Because like, if I have a really talented kid, am I reaching out to these teams and like, hey, you got to watch this guy.
Yeah.
He's consistent. He's dominant. You need to come over here. You need to scout this guy right now.
Yeah.
Like, is that maybe it's not so much luck? It's like, I mean, obviously it's maybe a little bit of luck for the player, but like, maybe that's a part of it too. Like,
But I also believe that like putting in the time, you're going to be around those people and they're going to notice. So like if you have that drive, those things will come.
For sure.
You kind of like
I can
make
see
your
that.
own luck in that aspect to where you're doing it and you're grinding, someone's going to notice.
Right.
Someone's going to notice.
yeah, I said it a lot more monotonously whenever Fox interviewed me and Caden. But the hard work pays off.
It
It's
does.
good to see that shit, man.
It is good to see.
And like Caden going to Italy is fucking awesome, dude.
That's awesome.
It's so cool. But
Yeah.
dude, we were so we've been like working with the t-shirts and stuff and working with like hoodies. And so Turtle Jacob is he's like, man, I want to give you just like a hoodie and just let you like do freestyle on it. And I was like, hey, all right, you got to give me a white one. He's like, why a white one? Like, because I'm just going to wipe my ass and
That's a
then I'm going to
freestyle.
wash it and give it back to you. It's going to be a big ass brown streak down the front of it. Oh, man, Kate thought that was the funniest shit, dude.
That's hilarious. But do you have any music that you want to recommend? An album?
I know we kind of talked about this a little bit last week.
You recommended Let's Rock by the Black Keys.
If I'm going to
Phenomenal
recommend
album.
another one, I'm going to say It's a little bit different, but I'm gonna say "Coming Home" by Leon Bridges.
Oh, I like that. That's a great album, dude. It's a great album.
And it sucks because that's the only album of his that's like that.
I know, man.
But it's a good album.
It's a classic, like, doo-woppy album.
It's a doo-wop album.
And it's amazing.
It's a very good doo-wop album, though.
That's got River,
Coming Home.
It's just, it's loaded.
And this is where we start forgetting shit.
I know. Is it Brown Skin Girl?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good one. What's the Twisting and Grooving?
That's it, Twisting and Grooving.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a great album, man.
And,
really highly recommend that album.
But honestly,
I didn't expect you to come with that.
Another one I could recommend is what's the purple album, the pinkish purple album by Marcus King Band. The one with Goodbye Carolina.
Oh, that's Carolina Confessions.
Carolina Confessions.
Dude, that is an amazing album.
Jesus Christ,
I actually went back and forth. I almost recommended that album.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That
was on my list.
Okay, so what else is on your list?
The one I'm really going to recommend, and I went off on her earlier about being undeniable,
yeah.
and that's Sound and Color by Alabama Shakes.
Color.
It doesn't miss.
It's
Alabama
so
Shakes.
good,
Brittany Howard never misses.
It's so good.
It's so good,
It's
dude.
ridiculous. It's kind of crazy because, like, right before you recommended them to me, Gabby was listening to Sound and Color.
Oh, man.
And she was like, I really want you to give me this album, like for my birthday or something, And so then, like, a few weeks later, you recommend this. And I'm like, all right. At some point, I got to listen to this because if Gabby recommends it, I'm just going to ignore her. I'm just saying. Or am I? Nah. So Gabby recommends it, I'm like, nah. And then you recommend, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll listen to it now.
Oh, yeah.
Nah. But yeah, dude, like after I was like, okay, if two people are recommending it, there's something there.
Yeah.
And this is like, the two of you have completely different tastes in music. So whenever I see that crossover by two completely polar opposite music tastes, I'm like, yeah, I got to check this out.
Yeah, for sure.
But that album is... that's definitely a very good pick.
Yeah, they had two albums, Boys and Girls.
Boys and Girls and Sound and Color.
Sound and Color. And honestly, you can argue either one. I think it's Sound and Color is their better album, but they're both phenomenal.
Oh, man. It kind of sucks. I hate seeing those bands that are so good that only put out one or two albums and then just stop.
I know, man.
It reminds me of like
so big.
We talked about John Paul Jones a second ago, or I did, but like them Crooked Vultures.
Yeah, that was
in one album.
Yeah,
one album with Dave Grohl, John Paul Jones, and Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age.
Queens of the Stone Age, yeah.
That's another album, dude. Like Clockwork by Queens of the Stone Age. If you've ever felt like any sadness in your life, you can relate to this album.
Yeah, that's a good album.
It's like it's so dark, but it's got that melancholy like it like pulls you in, but not all the way under. It's so good, dude. Yeah. I love that fucking album.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a fan.
Yeah, that's
Queens of the Stone Age. I know you're a bigger fan than me. You seem to like them a little bit more than me.
For sure, man.
They're amazing.
It's really Josh Homme for me.
He's good in rock and roll.
Right?
Yes.
He's a very good voice and a great riff writer.
Yeah, for sure.
Very good riff writer.
Yeah.
But I know this is a little off topic, or I guess it's still about music. But last week on the podcast, we were talking about the Arctic Monkeys, and you said the drummer, and I said Don Helder.
Yeah.
And it's Matt Helder.
Oh, okay. Good correction.
And as soon as I went back and listened to it, I was like, I was wrong. I'm not editing this out. I deserve this.
Nice.
I couldn't edit it out, man.
Nicely done, man.
Yeah.
Just leave it.
But it is Matt Helder.
We're going to say a lot of stupid shit on here.
Oh.
We already have.
You have no idea. Yeah. We already have, and it's going to get worse.
Much worse. But
what you think about this beer, man?
You said it's from Charleston. This is the first time I've drank this.
Yeah,
this
it's pretty
the
good.
Huger Street IPA.
Yeah.
The Palmetto.
What you think about it?
It's actually really good, man. I'm a
fan. It's like a little heavier than I remembered it.
I'm gonna be honest. I had probably 3 or 4 beers before I came up here.
Okay, that's
before
fair.
you got here.
Right.
So at some point for me, they really start to blend
together.
They blend in a little bit.
Right.
So it's kind of blending with the 420 that I was drinking earlier.
Okay,
but it's really good, man. I have to say I'm a fan.
It's I'm pretty sure it's only like 5.1%.
That's not bad. Once they start getting
up
in the
it's still like heavy though. It's still heavy like a 7% or something, like a hazy.
Yeah.
But it does have a nice like pale ale taste. I really like it.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I definitely would consider getting that again. Like
For
if
sure.
I was somewhere and I didn't know what I really wanted, I saw that, I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'll take that for sure.
Dude, that's kind of what I did. We were at Disney Springs yesterday, and they had no selection, but they had Lagunitas.
I love Lagunitas.
So if I see Lagunitas, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get a Lagunitas.
I still hold it up there as one of my. They're pale ale, and I've had like
so
the little
good,
something, and I've had a couple of their beers, but the pale ale to me is one of my favorite pale ales,
right?
For sure. And I'm a pale ale guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Big pale ale
Big
guy.
Pale ale guy. Big meal prep guy.
Yeah, big meal prep guy. Big hot yogi.
But
guy.
It was so crazy being at Disney Springs because it's like a whole like roped in area, but it's massive. But it's kind of like a boardwalk at the beach or whatever.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me. Another one. But if so like we went, you could just walk around with your beer like everywhere,
Yeah.
But I was like in the Lego store with a beer.
It was like, sir, you can't come here. You like.
No,
what?
They didn't say that.
They didn't say anything?
No, you just walk in. You can go in any store with a beer.
That's cool.
I was in the Coca-Cola store with a beer.
The Lego store with a beer.
That was that was so strange. I even said, I was like, this is strange.
I don't care what anybody says. All of us still want to play with Legos.
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude.
They're cool as fuck, man.
I considered buying a $250 Home Alone Lego set.
Trent got that for the boys.
Now, to be fair,
shout out Trent
for sure. To be fair, that is a very good Lego set for $250.
It looks like a lot.
There's a
it's got even got the little tree in the back.
Yeah, we were there, and there was like one Lego set that was like $200 with 2,000 pieces. It was a Star Wars set.
Yeah,
I forget which one it was. I think it was R2D2. And then there was another one, but the Harry Potter set is 3,900 pieces for $250. Double the pieces and only $50 more.
It's interesting.
I really almost got it.
Yeah,
like I was this close.
Because Gabby likes.
I mean, we both like Legos. Yeah,
I love Legos.
I still got that. I got that Fender guitar that she got me for my birthday or for Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
the Fender guitar Lego set. I want to put that in here. That would
be cool. Yeah,
I want to put that in here
for sure. Yeah, bring that. Dude, I kind of I love the setup that Trent has at his.
Dude, yeah, like the very OCD style.
You walk in and you see like glass cases of Legos that they've built.
Right.
And there's a big ass workshop right there, and like little Lego men hanging from the
yeah, I forgot about that.
It's all like green fields, like a little desert field or something like that, and it's just nothing but you can get down and you can start trying shit out.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I like that creativeness of just letting your kids just do it.
Yeah.
I saw I don't know if it was on Facebook or something, but it was just have a room to let your kids draw on the wall. Why not?
Oh, that's interesting.
Right?
I mean, you can always paint over it.
Yeah. So just let them draw on the wall, man. I mean, what's the worst thing that happens? You got to go home and you get to paint out, and it's a little wrong, but
I guess that.
I mean, does everything have to be perfect? Life is not perfect, so why does everything else have to be?
I like what you're going with, but you're kind of teaching kids to draw on the wall. I mean, maybe obviously you would tell them this is the only room you do this in.
Yes, exactly. And that's what teaches them not to do it everywhere else.
Yeah, kids don't tend to always listen. So
that's true.
I don't know. I like the idea though.
I feel like
that sounds kind of cool.
I guess I don't know if this is me being very overconfident, but I feel like I would be a good dad. And
I think you would be too.
Of making allowing kids to obviously I want them to think for themselves.
Yeah.
But I also want to see I obviously want obedience, because if there's not, then they're kids. They're not going to know everything.
Right.
But I don't know, that free range of being able to just think for yourself, and I'm all about creativity.
Yeah, I don't want to push any kind of certain belief or whatever on my kids when I decide to have some, which is I think it's going to come up here soon.
Oh, I'm excited to hear you say that on air.
Yeah, I'm
excited to hear you say that, man.
I feel like I'm about 1.5 years, 2 years out, but
right.
But you just preach being open-minded, I think, is the move.
I agree.
Just giving them the space to be the person that they want to be, not the person that I want them to be.
Yeah, and I'll tell this to. I mean, I'll even tell this to my students in karate. Obviously, I love karate. I love kickboxing. I love jiu-jitsu. If it's not for my kids, it's not for my kids.
Yes.
I'll obviously want to teach them how to protect themselves, and I'm going to try to make it fun for them. I don't want to force it down their throat. I want to make it fun for them so they want to do it. Right. Obviously, I want them to do it, and I'm going to try to brainwash them and want to do it. But if the brainwash doesn't work, I'm not going to be I'm going to be yeah, it sucks. Yeah. And I'm not going to be worried about them, but I don't know if I want to have kids for that reason. If I have kids, I want them to be able to protect themselves. and I want to protect themselves because it's a shitty world.
I'll tell you this. I'm going to be honest with you. When I was your age 7 years ago, I think we're 7 years apart.
Right.
And I turned 30 in like 2 weeks.
Oh,
but we're not going to talk about
it. I've been talking about it.
We're not here to talk about that.
You're in your 20s still. You're
Yeah,
still in your
I'm
20s.
still in my 20s. What's up? young buck. But what I will say is, fuck, I forgot what we were. Oh, kids, is that when I was that age, I felt the same way, and for me, I thought I would never have kids,
Right.
and I never wanted to have kids until I got with someone that I was like, okay, Heather would be a really good mother.
Right.
You know, this, like, being with her makes me want to have kids.
Yeah, for sure.
And I've never felt that before.
So let me hit you with this. I was kind of the same way. And then whenever, like, I guess like maybe 2 years ago, I was like, you know, I don't want to be with anybody else, like with Gabby.
Yeah.
And I was like, and you know, we're still dating right now, but who knows? Who knows what the future holds? But, I mean, I got a good idea of it, but I felt the same thing. I was like, you know, if I was going to have kids with somebody, it would definitely be Gabby. But then we got to talking, and it's like, why do we want to force a kid into this?
I see what you're saying.
It's
it
like,
grows on you as you get older.
But like, that's the thing. Like, I used to think I want to have kids, and now I think I don't.
Because I'll say this. Being around, like, Laramie, Justin, shout out to those guys.
Yes.
Some of my best friends. Seeing them have kids and watching them be fathers is like, it's growing on me.
For sure.
So, like, you're at the age where, like, none of your friends are having kids like that. So you're never really around to see them be fathers and see them, their kids grow. I think it might start to grow. Like, if I have a kid, I think that would start to grow and you're like, I kind of want my own.
But you got to think, I'm also like at the gym where
That's true.
I'm watching kids grow up every day.
For sure.
I mean, for the last 13 years, I've been at the gym, and I see, like, especially like now that I'm teaching class, man, I see these teenagers grow up, and I love being in that class because I'm a fucking kid myself, you know.
Me too.
I'm a little kid, and
too.
I will happily say that because
I'm the same way.
I can relate so well to the kids because of that reason.
We just talked about loving Legos.
Like,
so,
yeah, exactly.
You know,
like we was in Orlando this weekend, and I'm with a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old, and we had so much fun. We're in the pool, like, trying to do a totem pole and, like, stupid shit. And it's so fun. It's so fun, dude. And it's like, I love seeing them grow up and, like, becoming into good, like, adults, like, productive members of society, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I would love to see that for myself, but it's a lot different whenever it's my own kid. Like, I feel like I'm a lot more worried if it's my own kid.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm still, like, worried. I was still, like, worried. You know, this weekend I was still very, like, a little protective.
You talked about the anxiety you had before you got on the plane.
Exactly.
Because they're looking at you. When shit goes bad, they're looking at you.
Yes.
It's like, okay, we're in a bad situation. What are we going to do? And they're looking at you. And that gives you, like,
yeah, for sure.
Hopefully everything goes okay. I don't have to worry about anything. And get on a plane, you start to get those thoughts in your head of, okay, what if, like, that one part in the right wing just pops?
Man, that's not on me, though.
Yeah, but that's the thought process that you're entering.
See,
what if something goes wrong? They're gonna look at me.
See, I'm not worried about that. I was more worried about, like, being late to the plane.
Okay.
Like, and we left at like 5:00 to go to Atlanta, but then, like, we had to get gas, and then next thing you know, we're there at 8:00, and it's a little tight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm bad at procrastinating. That's the problem. But I had to work that day. I didn't have a choice. Like, 5:00 was like almost just about the earliest we could have left. Maybe 4:45.
Yeah.
So, like, I was, like, on the way there, I was a little nervous, and, like, Turtle was like, or Jacob, he was like, yeah, I'm a little nervous that we're not going to, like, make it, you know? And then Caden was like, nah, Bryant says we're going to make it, we're going to make it. Dude. Like, Caden just has that blind faith in me. And now, like, it's cool, like, and shout out to you guys. You shouldn't be watching, but if you are, shout out.
Yeah, you passed the 18 and over wall.
Yeah.
18 and over.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Yeah.
But, like, it's cool seeing that blind faith because I feel like I'm, like, successful as a
They
coach
look up
and a
to you,
teacher.
man.
They do.
They do, and they should.
And that's very important. But
You're
like,
a good role model.
I can like fake that confidence sometimes. Like sometimes you have to fake the confidence.
You have to. You don't have a choice.
Yes, exactly.
You don't have
and
a
that's
choice.
exactly what I did. Like they would never know that I was like, we really could be late right now.
Yeah.
But in that moment, I don't have time to. Like that's like kind of like the dad role. Where like I don't have time to let them see my weakness.
Yeah.
I just have to be strong right now.
For sure. Dude, when it comes to acting, I know this is way off topic, but I kind of like the switch
Yeah,
gears
well, we were
like
kind of
that.
we were talking about like acting like you have confidence. So
Yeah. So when it comes to an actor, when you are watching a film and you go, that's terrible acting or that's amazing acting, what separates a great actor from a shitty actor to you when you're watching a film?
I don't know. That's a very hard question because I don't know shit about acting.
Yeah, but
like I guess I can see whenever I
mean,
like a good actor.
you've talked sorry, go ahead. I'm
It's
just
just
cut you off.
I guess kind of like nah, that's what we do. We cut each other off. Well, that's kind of like like that's like why I like podcasts so much is because it's very transparent.
Yes.
So whenever I see an actor that seems like they're being like that's who they are, versus like if I can tell you're acting, that's what it is. I mean that's a bad way to put it. Like if you watch Leonardo DiCaprio, you're like, oh, this character is him.
You believe the character, and you don't
believe it.
You believe the character. You get drawn into the character. The character makes you feel a certain way.
Yes, but if I watch some low budget film, I'm like, he's just acting.
He's just acting. It's just he's reading from a script.
Yes, exactly.
And he's trying to memorize the.
It feels
the
like he's
line or
reading.
whatever.
It feels like he's not being genuine.
Yes.
And then like whenever like a very good actor acts, it feels like they're being. It's like it feels like that's who they are. And I'll like I know I said Leonardo DiCaprio because I thought of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where he's playing an actor in the movie, and it's like,
oh man, it's
dude, that scene. You know what scene I'm talking about?
You talking about the scene? Or there's two scenes for me with that movie. There's when he walks into the RV after he just shit the bed.
So the scene before that,
set.
and then that scene,
and he's mad at himself. He's going crazy. He's throwing shit. Fuck you! You're just gonna sit around and act like a baboon, and he starts doing the stuttering like a baboon. And then he does that. He looks into the mirror, and I forget what he says because I think you remember.
He goes,
what he says, right?
He just fucked up like a line. He just forgot the lines, and they're like, you know what? Let's take 5. So he goes to his fucking thing, and he goes to his trailer, and he he's like, he's losing it, like you said, and then finally he like throws something, and the mirror turns. And the way he's looking at the mirror,
he's looking right at you.
The camera looks at you, and he goes, if you fuck this line up again, I'm gonna blow your fucking brains out. And it's like, and he gets like quiet in the theater. So me, Jeremiah, Noah, and Jacob watched this in the theater.
How many people were in the theater? Was it packed?
Packed. So fucking good.
It's a Quentin movie, of course.
And it got dead silent. And I was like, oh my god, dude, the directing is fucking phenomenal, dude.
Like
you believe
it. Yes.
You believe because you're like, been there. And he's looking at you like, you've thought it. You felt it. Everyone's felt that shit. We're like, you fucked up so bad.
That you hate yourself because you fucked up so bad.
So good, man. It's so good.
Wow. And that's, to me, that's what separates Leonardo DiCaprio, honestly, is probably a top 10 actor of all time.
He's my favorite actor of all time, for sure.
He doesn't miss, other than the Shakespeare shit that he did. Was it Shakespeare that he did?
He was very young, too. I mean,
he was, but he was still
to
doing
be fair,
shit.
You can't use that as an excuse because he did the Titanic.
I was going to say
very
that.
young.
Yes, I was going to say that.
Whenever that made me think about Johnny Depp in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, that's early Johnny Depp.
That's his first movie ever. Yeah. That's his debut.
Yeah.
It says it's on Netflix now. If you're not into horror movies, this is definitely a good starter because it's like 90s. It might be 89.
Oh, I might be before that.
It might be 80s for real.
I think it's before.
But
89, if I had to guess.
If you haven't watched many horror movies and you like Stranger Things, I would recommend. Well, I mean, I would recommend that because Victor Creel in the newest season of Stranger Things is also the same actor that played Freddy in the original.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah. Of course. Well,
I was wondering why you weren't catching on to that.
No, isn't that where are you talking about? What's that?
Robert England.
Robert England. I was gonna say Dave England. Who the
Yeah,
fuck is
that's
Dave England?
Jackass.
It's-
Dave England's Jackass.
He's the one shitting the toilets.
Yes. He's the one that's always shitting with the big ass
Yeah.
teeth.
Dave England. Why did I think of Dave England?
Because his last name is England, maybe.
Maybe. I'm bad about that, man. I keep calling
You know what's
John
funny?
Anik
I
Paul.
thought
Is
Dave-
it John Anik or Paul Anik for UFC?
John Anik.
I don't know why I
Paul
want to call him
Anik is
Paul
somebody.
Anik. Gotta be.
I mean, I know the name is like there.
Gotta be.
I
That's
just
how
don't know who
that's
it
how
is.
fucked up my brain is, man. I think of weird
That's,
shit like
it's
that.
more fucked up than that.
Yes, it is.
It's way more fucked up than that.
But dude, going back to like talking about relationships and shit, I just want to say, if you're in a bad one, get out.
It's so easy to say that from the outside looking in.
I know, because I've been on the inside.
You have. And how
And I'm
fucking
not
hard
trying to
was
get
it?
into that, but
But how fucking hard was that to get out?
you're in denial the whole time.
You are.
You want to love this person. You want to love this person, and they'll say things to you to manipulate you.
Yeah.
And say, "This is just a one-time event. I'm sorry. I love you." Like,
Yes,
and you love
yes.
them so much that you don't. You want to believe it.
Yes,
you are
you're
drawn
very,
into anything they say.
Like my kids are going to be, you're very brainwashed. No, but like, yeah, I definitely agree, man. If it's possible, like obviously there's physical relationships.
When there's kids involved, obviously
It's hard.
I can't speak on that. I've never experienced
Yes,
that.
yes,
I can't
right.
give you advice on that.
That's for sure.
But if it's just you and a significant other, and get out.
Yeah.
If you're
Because-
arguing like if you're arguing like 2 or 3 times a week, get out, man. Get the fuck out.
That's kind of like you're not gonna. That relationship's only gonna be harder to split off.
Yes.
But it's the
The
same
longer
thing
you
with
go.
like older guys. They'll always be like, hey, how about you come train with me? You know, and they're like, oh, I'm 42, man. I don't need to be doing that. Yeah, next year you're gonna be 43.
It's not great.
There's no time. There's no time like now.
There's no
It
time
only gets
like
harder.
now. Yes. It only gets harder.
It only gets harder, man.
So the further you go in this relationship, okay, you have a kid with her.
Oh,
Having a kid with someone who's not a good mother or someone who is manipulative to you or
so not only like if you make that decision, not only are you like it's gonna hurt your life, it's gonna hurt the kid's life now.
yes.
And now you're like you feel even more stuck.
And then now you may or may not be paying child support. If you do, it's harder to make that decision. Like we said,
it's
as longer it goes, the harder it gets.
This is like Spiderhead right now, the roller coaster of emotions in this episode, man. I love it.
Yeah.
That's really how it's gonna go though.
Well,
dude.
yeah. When we were talking about, I forget what we were talking about earlier, but it was something to do with relationships, which makes me bring this up because it entered my mind. I had it.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I
I
just
agree.
felt like
I
that,
agree with
know?
you though. Yeah.
It's just, and I just want to say to people, and I want to give them the confidence to get out of that. There's
Right.
people out there. It's not that.
It's
now
very
has
common.
It's very common.
It's very common
You know, there's no better time like now.
in everything in
To
life,
where
though,
it's-
honestly.
Yeah, there's no better time than now that when it becomes to finding someone. It's easy to find someone and meet up with someone. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I just don't want
Do
to
it.
see people suffering.
You gotta know.
silence
You gotta
like
know
that.
yourself before you know. Like,
It's very true. It's very true.
if you don't know like who you are or like what you like or what you want, then you can't like try to. If you don't love yourself, then you can't ask somebody else to love you. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, for sure.
I know I just brought up Spiderhead, but there's a movie I just watched. Me and Gabby watched on Netflix called The Rental.
Before we continue, can I take a piss break?
I kind of got a piss too.
And it's funny because I was preaching. Let's not take a piss break this time, but I've had a lot to drink. So.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not mad about it. Okay. Hey guys, we're gonna take a
We'll be
piss break real
back.
quick. We'll be back. We're back. So spending the weekend with Caden, you know, he's so little. I was like, you know, what if, like, you know, the guy Hasbulla, like the little guy Hasbulla, he's like 19 years old, and he's little. He's a little guy.
Explain Hasbulla to the audience.
So for the people that do not know who Hasbulla is, I don't know how what the disability is.
Yeah,
But he's
he's very short.
this big.
Yes,
But he's like a grown man with a grown man head. But he's like mentally 100% mentally
yeah,
like
he's
capable.
all there. Yeah,
But he's just like physically disabled.
Yes.
But like, he can like still move around. It's like, and I don't want to use the word midget, but I'm using the word midget.
It's little person.
Yeah, I don't want to use the word midget.
I think
so.
it's
I'm using
person.
little person.
Okay. Nice. So technically, you can't cancel me.
He's not a little person. It's just like something different than that.
Yeah.
Tom Segura has a great bit on that.
But honestly,
he said, whenever I refer to a midget as a little person, whenever you say little person, you're like, do you mean like someone that's short? Or like, when you say midget, you know exactly what they're talking about.
Yes.
But like, Hasbulla is not a midget.
Little person's they might be 5'1".
But regardless, we're terrible people, and we're like, what if we had our own Hasbulla, but it was like
runs
a
around the
redneck.
podcast.
It was like a redneck Hasbulla, and he had like a mullet and like wore pit vipers, and then we could like exploit his disability to set him up with fights against other Hasbullas.
Oh my god!
So I think we can make a lot of money
If we had our own
off of this.
Hasbulla, we need our own.
And now, don't get me wrong, we would treat him fucking great.
He would be a king.
He'd be cool as shit.
Yeah, but he would have pit vipers in him.
Oh, he would be a king. He had that southern twang. He needed to ride fucking dirt bikes. He'd have a little like
What is
Honda, little Honda 75 cc's. Yeah, he still have training wheels on his dirt bike. That's ridiculous, dude.
We need it. We
We
gotta
do.
have it happen. We gotta
I
have it happen.
told this shit to Jacob, and he immediately goes, "So, Caden."
Dang.
Yeah,
He could beat everybody's ass though.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting at. He'd be like a little Funko Pop.
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious.
That shit's funny, man.
Oh man. Yeah, but going to actors, what makes like when an actor makes you feel something, that's how you know they're acting.
Yeah, for sure.
It's-
Where
like
picking
when
back up where we left off, that feeling. Like everybody wants to feel.
everyone wants to feel.
Everyone wants to feel. Except for Lane Staley, who hates to feel, like the song in the album Dirt.
Yes. Dude, the opening scene to Inglourious Bastards.
That makes you feel.
Quentin just hits you with this. There's tension. Boom, automatically. There's a house. People are driving up. Christoph Waltz, Hans Landa gets out. Walks
But,
into there and immediately
I'm gonna
you
cut you
feel
off.
slightly uncomfortable. Go ahead.
What makes it so good is the caption that sets the setting.
Yes.
That makes a setting. It's like you don't need like any background from the picture.
Yeah.
There's a caption that sets it. It's like whatever 18, or I guess it's the World War II, so it's 1928 or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could be wrong about that. But anyways, keep going.
But yeah, you immediately you're uncomfortable.
Yes.
He walks into this guy's home, and he's already someone who has authority, who runs the show in his world. He runs the show around all his guys.
Oh, and
So
like
he's not used to like being
any kind of disobedience.
Yes.
And he goes into like this poor farmer's area. It's a milk farmer. And like you just know
He walks
that
in.
the milk farmer's like, they could just kill me, kill my family, and make me
Yeah.
suffer.
Yeah, they have like fully automatic weapons.
I will say, I love that whenever you brought this up, it just immediately started thundering.
I know it kind of caught me
That
off
was
guard.
like really good, dude. I kind of like wanted to look.
It kind of fucked. You saw me glance over there.
And whenever you glanced, I was like, I want to glance too.
Yeah, it kind of fucked with me a little bit. I was like,
That was good timing.
yeah,
Because that's Hans Landa's a dark motherfucker.
dude.
One of my favorite villains.
Let's talk about your favorite. You want to talk about favorite like characters or actors? Who's your favorite character actor? Not the actor, but the character they played.
Character actor.
The character that they played though in the movie.
Okay. Oh, that's tough, man.
Like a Hans Landa or like the Jesus.
I mean, Hans Landa is very good for me. I know one that's like a little off the wall, but Mr. Deeds, Steve Buscemi, Crazy Eyes.
Nice.
That's like one I always think about. But if I had to say my favorite,
I mean, just throw some out there. It don't
I
have
mean,
to be
like
your
that's
favorite.
one of them. Obviously, like Hans Landa, and then I'm thinking like Dr. Schultz which is also the same actor, Christoph Waltz in Django
Yeah,
Unchained.
for sure.
It's hard character actors. I thought of Philip Seymour Hoffman in Almost Famous.
Oh, I love it. Nice.
That is a phenomenal character actor, dude.
It is because he really plays that like radio personality.
does.
Guy who knows so much about music, plays the shit that he's told to play.
But like you can tell he's so full of like he knows that he's full of shit on the radio.
Yes.
And then but whenever he's like face to face with
Yes.
I forget the kid's name.
Oh.
The character's name, but the main character of the movie, and when he's face to face with him, he's so like real. And that's
Yeah.
how you can tell that he knows he's full of shit on the radio.
And he's looking after this kid. 'Cause
Yeah,
he
he
don't want
is.
him to grow up to fuck up and end up like him in a radio
Ah,
studio.
that's such a good movie, man.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen, if you guys like anything about music or like,
Yes.
I mean, not even just music, but like the change of like teenage adolescence. Like that is
That's true,
such
too.
a good fucking movie
Yes, it's true.
of like, it makes you feel.
It does.
It makes you feel.
Yeah.
It's so good, dude.
It's such a good movie, man.
For sure.
And I don't know why I can't remember his name. The boy who grows up, the young kid who grows up to write the piece for Rolling Stone.
I was like, it was on the tip of my tongue earlier, and I was just going, but it's a fucking good movie. The dude from My Name Is Earl is in there. Earl.
Yeah,
From My Name Is Earl.
Yeah, that's nice.
um,
And Kate Hudson, a very young, like 16-year-old Kate
yes,
Hudson,
dude,
who
and she plays a good part.
She plays.
Penny Lang.
She I think she won a Oscar for that performance.
Wow.
Yeah, it was nominated
That's
for
kinda
Best
crazy.
Picture. I don't think it won Best Picture, but it did. She got an Oscar performance.
That's pretty
for that.
fair.
Yeah.
Speaking of Oscars, how did Leonardo DiCaprio only have one for The
It's
Revenant?
bullshit.
I mean, The Revenant was a phenomenal acting performance.
I haven't seen it. Yeah.
Are you serious?
I haven't seen The Revenant. Honestly, and this is why.
Oh my god.
It's because for some reason, I've never heard a single bad thing about that movie. But in this piece in the back of my head, it
You
says
think they just gave it to him?
Yeah.
You're wrong. It might be his best acting performance.
I'll check it out because
Dude.
I believe you. But in the back of my mind, that's what I've always thought. I'm like, you're really not going to give it to him for Django, or
Django's so good. I mean,
to
let's
me, that's his best performance.
Let's just be honest. Let's just start from the beginning. What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Yeah, he should have won it for What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Not even close.
Yeah, except
Should've-
I'm pretty sure it was like Forrest Gump or something.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah,
I think
pretty sure it was like Forrest
Gump
Gump
was that year.
Yeah, so that was kind of fair.
So Tom Hanks should have beat him out.
Except he was
Tom Hanks-
supporting actor.
He was.
He was supporting actor, so it might not have been Forrest
Yeah,
Gump.
because Tom Hanks was obviously the
Yeah.
lead actor.
And
Yeah,
Johnny
Johnny
Depp,
Depp,
was lead
yes.
actor in What's Eating Gilbert Grape. I forget what the other movie was. It might have been like Green Mile or something. It might not have been Forrest Gump. But it was something like
I think they might have both. It was very close.
it was something
Yeah.
ridiculous. Like the supporting actor beat him. Like he deserved
There was
it.
like 2 or 3 movies that were arguably better than What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
But like it was so close.
because
but,
you watch What's Eating Gilbert Grape and you go, Leonardo DiCaprio at like 15, however old he was,
I think he was like 19 in that movie.
he should have won an
He was
award
a
for
little boy,
that.
but he was like 19 or 18.
Dude, he played it so well.
But The Revenant, dude, him and Tom Hardy, it's like the dialogue, it doesn't need it. There's very little dialogue in The Revenant,
Okay.
and the acting is just so fucking good. Do you know the plot of The Revenant?
Well, I know that he's like in the woods and there's a bear that's after him. That's all I know.
Oh my god, it's I'm glad that's all you know. Don't look anything up, just go watch it tonight.
Okay, I will.
If you can't watch it tonight, then I will bring you the DVD.
Oh, you got the DVD?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll
Yes.
just yeah.
But try to watch it tonight.
I'll try to watch
You need
it.
to watch it tonight
Yeah.
because it's fucking good, dude.
Yeah, and there's a part of me that just I've seen every DiCaprio movie. Other than that,
Oh, dude, have you seen Basketball Diaries?
yes, yeah,
Dude,
that's a
that's-
good movie. That's
dude,
a really
so-
good movie.
Jeremiah, and I got something else I'm going into after this.
Yeah.
But Jeremiah was kind of shitting on Basketball Diaries the other day. He was like, "Yeah, it's just about like a little kid that makes fun of drug addicts and then he becomes one,"
Yeah,
which is kind of accurate.
you can minimalize
But it's a
any
little,
movie you want.
exactly. It's a little deeper than that.
Yeah, You can minimize any movie.
But what I'll go into though is we were talking about like War Dogs and The Wolf of Wall Street, and so he's obviously a very huge Martin Scorsese fan, right?
Jeremiah's?
Yes, and he was saying that The Wolf of Wall Street is Martin Scorsese's most overrated movie.
Okay. What was his reasons?
And so he tried to like name his reasons, but really, I think he's just
hating on the movie. I think that's what, as soon as you said that, I was like, okay, that is a hipster tendency.
And he was, and like, plus with him being like in college at Lander, he's like, yeah, this is very. He's like all the frat boys love this movie. You know, they love the movie. Like, all the business guys,
right.
all the very popular. And he's right.
He's right.
100% right.
He's right.
But it's still a phenomenal movie.
It is still a phenomenal movie.
And so I said, and I don't want to get in the argument because it's hard to like do it without like looking at like all the movies and stuff like that.
You did it in front of you, yeah.
Well, like we did it we were both on Discord, so we were talking like we were able to look at the movies
Okay.
and we had the whole argument. But I thought his most overrated movie was Casino.
What do you mean? Like,
Martin Scorsese's
okay,
most overrated
okay,
movie was Casino.
For some reason I was thinking.
Yeah, I thought about. Yeah, I got you.
Really?
I think so. I think it's just so much like Goodfellas.
Didn't he do Shutter Island?
He did do Shutter Island. Shutter Island's not overrated though.
That's fair.
I mean, it's like spot on. This is like only
That's
movie
fair.
with a.
No,
I'm not gonna say anything
You're
because
right.
I don't want to spoil
Yeah,
anything.
You're right. No, you're right.
That movie, I watched that movie with no idea. Like last
I did
year,
too, and I kind of could call that.
I didn't. I had no clue, and it hit. It was fucking good.
Shutter Island is a good movie.
But yeah, his argument was like, well, I will say though one thing about War Dogs, Ana de Armas, the woman that plays Miles Teller's wife in the movie,
yes,
she learned English like a month before that movie.
What?
She had no English knowledge.
What?
No knowledge of English. She only spoke Spanish.
Wow.
Yeah, phenomenal.
To me, there's something, and when you said War Dogs, it really made me think of Spiderhead.
Because of Miles Teller.
Okay, that's fair. But not in that way. In the way of, this movie really could have been, it seems like this movie had the potential to be an amazing, like, top-tier movie. I mean, it's like a 6 out of 10.
Okay,
I give
yeah.
both of them, like a 6 out of 10. 5 being...
I would say like 7 out of 10. I would say a little higher than that. Both of them, though.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'll give
6
it
out of 10 just seems low.
5 out of 10 means if I give you a 5 or higher, it's worth like 5 is worth a watch. I didn't like it, like the movie Hereditary.
Oh
It's
no.
worth. Have you seen it?
I have, and it's fucking good, dude.
You love it.
It's such a good movie.
I did not like it. I'm not gonna say hated it. I'm not.
Okay.
But I will recommend it because the fucking acting performance.
Yeah, for sure.
She gives. I can't remember her name for some reason. It's slipping my mind.
I can't think of it either. The mom.
The mom it's next level, dude. I don't know if there's ever been a better acting performance in any horror movie ever.
Right.
I'm gonna be straight up. But they lost.
The plot's good too, though, man. The plot's so good.
I'm not gonna spoil anything. After a certain scene that was very shocking.
I know what scene you're talking about.
Yes. It seemed to drag on, and I was like, all right, get to the fucking end. And the end just wasn't that good for me.
Oh, man.
I lost interest, and I got bored. And it hurts to say because the acting performance was so good.
It's so fucking good,
It's
dude.
next level, man.
Oh, man.
She makes you feel when you.
She does.
She's
She makes
acting.
you fucking feel. We're full circle here.
Yeah, we
she
are.
She makes you feel.
She does. But I'm sorry, not to interrupt, but
Go ahead.
I'm trying to finish what I was going with. And that's Spiderhead and War Dogs both had some kind of missing something. It got a little too goofy at moments. I was just like, this is separated like a movie from like War Dogs and a Quentin movie, War Dogs and a Scorsese movie, War Dogs and a Coen Brothers movie.
It was missing like the directing in general.
Yes.
That's exactly what it was missing. Spiderhead, though, I will say, you know, I meant to bring this up earlier when we talked about Spiderhead, but you know who directed that movie?
I looked it up the other day, and I can't remember. What else did he do?
The new fucking Top Gun.
Okay. I haven't seen it. I've heard nothing
Yeah,
but good things.
you know what years they both came out? This year.
This year. Okay.
That's fucking
He had
phenomenal.
Miles Teller on set. I get it.
I mean, but dude, like and all the people that I watched the first Top Gun, I haven't seen the new one, but all the people that are saying like this is the best sequel they've ever seen to a movie.
I've heard nothing but good things.
I've heard nothing but good things. And like to be able to put out those two movies in the same year. Now, to be fair, I'm pretty sure it was almost finished in 2020 though.
Okay.
Top Gun,
Yeah.
not Spider-Head, but that brings me back to the rental. We were about to talk about that right before the piss break.
Yes, I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good.
You're
I just dude, it's got Lip from Shameless,
Okay.
but it's about
Okay, yeah, I remember him.
it's about like these two couples that go out to this rental home for a vacation, and it's a horror movie. It's a slasher, but it really gave me like the original slasher feel.
Okay.
But the ending like kind of creeped me out. And I don't want to spoil it because I want you to get that same feeling.
I want to watch this, yeah.
But like, I was kind of like, I just don't want to say too much about it, like at all. But I was like, I had a bad feeling like the end was going to be just like stupid cliche, and then
You could see it coming, yeah.
but I didn't. But I did, but I didn't.
Okay.
And then it gets better. Like you think it's going to end at like a shitty moment, and you're like, oh god, if it ends like this, I'm going to be so mad. And they bring it back.
Okay.
It's a good movie. I wouldn't recommend many horror movies on Netflix, like newer ones, but I would recommend this one.
Okay.
So The Rental. Definitely check that
The
out.
Rental.
It's a good slasher.
Nice. That was that movie that Jeremiah recommended to you, I guess, that was Censor?
Yeah,
I haven't watched it.
I haven't either.
The trailer looked good.
It looks like something we would like. 'Cause we love the Grindhouse.
We love the Grindhouse. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
That's the connection between Grindhouse and horror, like we talked about in episode 1.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. You ready to wrap it up, man?
Let's do it.
Let's wrap it up. It's been a good fucking episode. I will say, the other day Austin was watching the episode or watching our first episode, and he texted me. He goes, "Hey, I'm watching y'all's episode. Check this out." And he had a picture of us on his big screen in the living room. I was like, "Fuck yeah!" So shout out to Austin. But he also made the point that we didn't. He was like, "So when are y'all gonna introduce yourselves?"
Because I have heard a couple chirps, not much, but a couple chirps here and there that say it's hard to change. Like the voices are hard to tell the difference.
Right.
You know, because we sound very similar. I know we have the same laugh.
Yes.
The voices are very similar, so it's probably important that we.
Yeah, for sure. So if you're not watching on YouTube, then it's gonna probably be pretty hard. But for those on YouTube,
Yes.
I'm Bryant Newsom.
And I'm Shawn Newsom.
So yeah, we were obviously brothers.
Yes. I mean,
got
yeah,
that
it's one brain working here. That's
It
why
is,
it sounds
man.
like
It's
the same
the
guy
hive
just
mind.
talking. Yeah.
It's the hive mind.
But if you could do us a favor, liking and subscribing would go a long way for us.
Yes, absolutely.
We're happy to be here. We've invested a lot of time to be here, and we're thankful for everyone who ever watches.
For sure.
And we sound like those guys.
We
Hey
do.
man, just like and subscribe. Like,
But yeah, we want to do this at the end because we don't want people to like. We want this to be a
Yes.
very transparent. Like we want this to be very transparent to our lives, and so that's what makes it so fun, man.
Yeah.
It's like we don't have to pretend to be anybody else.
yes.
But yeah, that's like if you want to help us out, we don't ask for anything that's gonna cost you anything.
Yes.
It's free to like and subscribe, so do that if you can.
Do us a
please.
favor if you're watching on YouTube, and even if you're on Spotify, switch over to YouTube and just give us a like and a subscribe. It would go a long way. We really appreciate it.
You good, man?
Yeah. Cheers,
Hey,
brother.
Cheers, dude. It's been good.
Next weekend.
Yep.
See you, man.
See ya.
See you guys.